The people who hold you. Recognizing and honoring the relationships that quietly sustain you. Good morning. I want to begin today with a question that may seem simple, but isn't. Who holds you? Not in a dramatic sense. Not the people who show up only in crisis, though those people matter too. I mean the quieter kind of holding. The person who texts to check in for no particular reason. The one whose voice makes something in you relax right away. The friend who remembers something you mentioned months ago and asks about it. The person who, simply by being in your life, makes the world feel a little more survivable. We often move through our days without pausing to see these people truly. Not because we don't care, but because the good things in life can become invisible when they're constant. Today, I want to slow down and look at the people who quietly hold us, at what they give us, and what it might mean to honor that truly. The quiet ones. There is a particular kind of relationship that doesn't make much noise. It isn't the relationship that feels urgent or intense. It isn't always the one that takes up the most space in your thoughts. It's the one that's there, steady, reliable in a way you stopped noticing because it never let you down. Think of water. You don't think about it when you have it. You notice its absence only. Some relationships are like that. They are so consistently present, so quietly nourishing, that they become part of the background of your life rather than the foreground. Because they rarely demand attention, they rarely receive it. But these quiet relationships often do a great deal of work. They are the ones who absorb our moods without judgment. That offers presence without performance. It doesn't require us to be anything other than what we are on a given day, tired, distracted, not at our best, and loves us through it anyway. Psychologists who study well-being consistently find that the quality of our close relationships is one of the strongest predictors of how well and how long we live, not our achievements, not our income, not our productivity. The people around us and the depth of those connections. It turns out the quiet ones are holding more than we know. Who is the person in my life who holds me most quietly? Someone I may not thank enough. What holding actually looks like. We often have a romanticized idea of what support looks like in relationships. Grand gestures, dramatic rescues. The friend who drops everything to drive through the night. Sometimes it is that. Sometimes love announces itself loudly, and we are grateful for it. But more often, the holding consists of smaller things. Things so small that we might not think to call them love at all. It is the person who always picks up the phone, even when they're busy, even for a brief, inconsequential call. The one who laughs at the same things you do, making the ordinary feel a little lighter. The colleague who covers for you without being asked. The sibling who remembers your birthday not because they scheduled a reminder, but because they truly hold it dear. It is the person who doesn't try to fix you when you're struggling, who sits with you in it, often the more courageous and loving choice. There is a word in Japanese amai that doesn't translate perfectly into other languages, but it captures the feeling of being able to lean on someone, of knowing, at a cellular level, that you don't have to carry everything alone, that there is another person in the world who will catch some of what falls. Most of us have experienced ame at some point, that particular ease of being with someone who truly holds us. It's one of the most profound feelings a person can know. And it comes from people, specific, irreplaceable, particular people, not from achievement, success, or anything we can manufacture on our own. What is the smallest thing someone in my life does regularly that holds me together more than I've admitted to? The practice of honoring. Gratitude in relationships is not just a feeling, it is also a practice. Like most practices, it requires intention because the pull of daily life is always toward the next thing, the next task, the next need, rarely toward pausing to appreciate what is already here. Honoring the people who hold you doesn't have to be grand. In fact, The most meaningful forms of recognition are usually quiet, which is fitting, since they match the nature of what they acknowledge. It might feel like saying out loud what you usually only think. I'm really glad you're in my life. You don't know how much that meant to me. I think about you more than I say. It might look like giving someone your full attention, not the half-present, one eye on your phone kind, but the real thing. The kind that says, right now, you are the most important. It might look like remembering, not just birthdays, but the small, ongoing details of someone's life. The job interview was what they were nervous about. The difficult thing was mentioned in passing. People feel honored when they feel remembered, when they know they exist as a whole person in your mind, not just as a background presence in your story. And sometimes honoring looks like receiving well. Letting someone hold you without deflecting, minimizing, or rushing to return the favor before you've even let it land. There is generosity in being a good receiver. It lets the people who love you feel their love is reaching you. What is one way I could honor someone who holds me today, in a small, meaningful way? Carrying this into your day. You are not alone in your life. Even on the days when it feels that way, even when the distance between you and others feels immense, people are holding you. People whose lives are quietly interwoven with yours in ways that matter more than either of you may have said. Today, I invite you to see them clearly. Not through the blur of familiarity or the noise of everything else vying for your attention, but clearly, as the particular, precious, irreplaceable people they are. And if you can, tell one of them. Not because relationships need constant maintenance or because love must always be spoken to be real, but because the people who hold us deserve to know we feel it, see them, and are grateful they stayed. You are held, and that is no small thing. Morning affirmation. I do not move through this life alone. I am held by those who matter, and I choose to see them and say so today. Today's intention. Think of one person who holds you quietly. Today, reach out to them with a message, a call, or a moment of genuine attention when you're together. Don't wait for a reason. Their presence in your life is reason enough.